off. I'm a fucking faggot here to rap your fucking dicks off. I'm a fucking faggot.
Yeah, I'll just use an antidote. So I had nothing. I have nothing. Don't you understand? I have nothing. So I had my experience of dealing with people is just getting fucking completely bullied, and not by this guy during my developmental years. And I remember all throughout my childhood, and this was a big point of resentment for a while during my teen years. My parents didn't realize the extent because they were always gone, and my mom like did not really raise or homeschool me. Her form of homeschooling was never like a classroom setting or a one-on-one. It was more just like, do these problems. And, you know, I don't even know what the fuck she did all day. I don't remember. I have like no memories from that point in my childhood. I think she would buy, like, at first she didn't know what the fuck she was doing. She would buy workbooks. You know, at the store you see like those little Scholastic fucking math problem books, and then she would teach me the math and then have me fill out the book, and then you're done. You know how to multiply now. She would have me read at least. Reading was the only thing that I got an actual understanding on. Like, I was able to... My developmental for reading and I guess writing was good, but she never taught me how to spell. I still don't know how to fucking spell. I don't know anything. I didn't know anything about science. My science is fucked. I actually have my GED scores in the closet, and everything is like 99th percentile. Fucking not to fucking brag or whatever, but everything is 90. I think I got 99 on English, 97 on whatever that other on what's the writing, comprehension, and all that shit. I know I got a 90. I know I got a 94 or something on math because of her as well. But I got an 86 in science. Like, I straight up just didn't know science. Like, because that's things science at that level is just shit you gotta memorize. Like, oh, how many types of rocks are there or whatever, and you just have to know the name of fucking like the mantle. What do they call the Earth's crust? The fucking mantle. So I was robbed not only of, you know, like math, because I went to college and I didn't know fractions. I didn't know fractions. Like, I remember when I found out that to divide fractions, you just flip them over and multiply. That was fucking mind-blowing to me. That it could be that easy. Because my mom never would tell me to divide these fractions and then never tell me just to do that. I don't know what the fuck she... Like, Mom, you don't know math. You don't... why would you take it upon yourself to try and teach me these things? Oh, shit. Isn't this when I evolve at level 16? Like, why would you... What were they thinking? Like... And so... Already from my developmental, from the most important years where you need to be hugged and shit, I'm just living in isolation from a kingdom of isolation, and I'm his queen, and there's just nothing. Let's see if we can get away with this, or if Kakadin dies. I use Lear. Okay, come on, Kakadin. Oh, another Lear. All right, Kakadin. There you go. And this continues on for, I'd say, about 2 years. And then my mom discovers a program called Switched On Schoolhouse, which is pretty much a homeschooling program. Oh, Jackie's evolving. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, I need you to be an adult, Jackie. You know what I'm doing. Ooh, you legal yet? What's the age of consent in North Carolina, boys? Is it 16? Cause you know, level 16. That sounds pretty good. I'll call you later tonight, Jackie. You know what I'm saying? So switched on Schoolhouse. So that at least was like an automated learning system. So I learned a bit there, and that's how I learned about like chloroplasts and how plants work. So there was bits and pieces of things I was supposed to know. And then at that point, she just fucking, as soon as it was automated, she just fucking gave up. She just absolutely gave up. And when I wasn't showing signs of she gave up to the point where it was my responsibility to do my switched on Schoolhouse. So how are you going to take this depressed, isolated child and leave it upon himself to fucking do his schoolwork? So I did none of it. And eventually there's like a teacher's module where she realized like this kid's not doing any of it. So then she switched me to another program online called K-12, where I believe she doesn't have to do the teaching. Like the feedback comes from, because she had to make sure I was doing the work with Switch on Schoolhouse. So then we went through one online called K-12, and, you know, that worked for a while. But eventually, then she just stopped fucking caring whether I did it or not. And then she gets this around, and this is peak. This is peak. This is when it all came falling apart. Around the time I was living in Virginia, my father was working at some military base in Virginia. I don't remember. And just fucking, she got these hard copy books of this Amish curriculum, and she just handed me the books and says, go to school. And there was months where she didn't even check if I was doing the work. And I remember I just learned to lie and just say, yeah, I did the work, because then she would get on my ass and she would get angry if I didn't do it, but she would make no effort to actually help me with the work. So Virginia is very important to me, because that's the period when I realized I wanted to die. I was around 11 or 12. Not 14. What fucking year? I'd say 12 to 14. I can't remember. But I just realized I was unhappy and I wanted to die. My brother was being abusive, and my parents, their solution was, they would always tell me, and it fucks me up to this day. They would say, just ignore it. Like, I would be physically hit, and I don't think they knew that, but they would say, just ignore it and he'll stop. And sadly, like, this wasn't just like an actual thing. Like, I would have straight up nervous breakdowns over what I was going through. Like, belittlement and physical violence. I would have straight up nervous breakdowns and cry, and my parents would, you know, they would try to comfort me, but I remember one time, we were driving in a car, and I just like fell apart. I fell apart so bad into a screaming fit of just crying and begging that they actually had to pull the car over. And I just remember pleading as if I was pleading for my life. It actually is like choking me up and fucking me up just thinking about how fucking desperate I was for something. But I remember just begging them, please make it stop. Please help me. Please do something. And they still said, just ignore him. Like, what's wrong? Like, it's just, they thought it was just some sibling thing and that I just had problems. I don't know what. I just don't know how you can ignore when it gets that bad. I just don't know. And ultimately what it the apex of that was just that I didn't. It was like unintentional gaslighting, and I just knew in my heart that I didn't matter, and I wasn't important. Because there was nobody who would acknowledge my feelings or any suffering or who I was as a person. And you know, I was just neglected emotionally. I think it just I still feel it to this day. There are times when, you know, I just don't, I feel like I don't get enough attention, and I just recede into myself, into this despair and this visceral, like, childlike sadness. I'm not even fucking playing the game right now. This is fucking gay as shit. But yeah, let me keep we'll get through this, boys. Let me keep battling. And it was just like that for the first 16 years of my life. Just not feeling valued or wanted or listened to or anything. Oh, fuck. Is that going to disable me? Oh, okay. That's fine. And so when I was 14, the first thing that started was the insomnia. I don't know how that works. I don't know if that's like directly related, but I just to this day I can't sleep. And you can ask, like, Jackie, post something in the comments, dude. Fucking I thought only one of them could be asleep at a time. But I've been up. I was up at her place for 52 fucking hours. 52 hours when I was detoxing, and she just was not. Oh shit! I'm sorry, Cuckadin. I almost had you die. She was just in disbelief. But then the depression started, and I just didn't want to live, and I didn't do my school anymore. And I remember I had to go to summer camp. And I remember shitting myself because, oh shit, my mom, while I'm gone, because my mom is a nosy motherfucker that will always, any chance she gets to go through my shit, she will. And I remember, oh shit, I'm gonna go to summer camp. She's gonna look at all the books and notice that I haven't done the work. So I actually hid them in the attic when I went to summer camp. And for the month that I was away, because, you know, they sent me to summer camp. I don't know why. Maybe they were sick of me. Maybe they were sick of me being alone in my room all the time. Maybe they were sick of all the fucking fits from the neglect they gave me. But, they sent me to summer camp. And I remember coming back, and my mom was like, I know you haven't been doing your work. Like, she was mad at me, at a fucking 13-year-old child, for not having the prerogative to do his own school, to teach himself. She was like, I know you haven't been doing your work because you hid the books, you sneaky motherfucker. And, like, her punishment, I guess, was just, like, more neglect and less teaching me fucking school. Like, I don't know. And I hate to say something so fucking conceited, but I'm lucky that I'm not retarded. I'm lucky that I'm smart, because there is no reason I should be able to fucking read, write, and speak coherently, because I didn't learn anything. I was not formally taught. I honestly don't understand. And it makes me wonder, if I had stayed in school, what would I be? What would I be if I stayed in school? Because when I did go to high school, I got perfect marks. I had, what was it, a 4.4 GPA, I think, because I was taking so many AP classes. And it was, like, I got awards. I wasn't valedictorian, but I got, you know, fucking awards. I even got the medals in like JROTC and all that shit. And that's not like it's fucking like an achievement, because high school is fucking boring and retarded. But the fact that I knew so little and that I was barely educated, the fact that the absorption and the way that how fast I was able to pick it up and think critically about things when I never had to do that prior, it makes me wonder what was my potential. And I'm never gonna know, because my parents robbed me of this. I was robbed. And we're gonna end it here, folks. I'm out Mount Moon. I got the Boulder badge. And what we'll do next section. Well, the next episode will fucking come out. I don't know. Fuck you all. Fuck you all. Have a good night.